welcome back to Megan Flips It DIY. For this craft today, you're going to need 2 packages of these bamboo rings picked up at the Dollar Tree and 2 pieces of these square, I don't know what the size is, blocks, also from the Dollar Tree. I also have the Dollar Tree sandpaper, Type-On wood glue, and the Waverly antique wax. So you are going to start out by using your sandpaper, and you're going to want to sand the edges of the blocks, and then on the one side it's really kind of rough. So you're going to want to sand that smooth as you can get it. Once you have everything sanded and smooth, all I did was take a paper towel and wipe it so that I could get all of the sawdust pieces off of the excuse me, the square pieces of wood. I don't really know what to call those. Then what you're going to do is take the Waverly antique wax. I didn't want to overdo it because I like to go in sections, and I just paint on the antique Waverly wax in small sections. I think I do about 1/3 of this block and the antique wax, and that's just with your basic paintbrush. Not sure where the paintbrush came from. Dollar Tree has very similar paintbrushes to this, but I run over it with the antique wax, and when you're done, you just wipe off the antique wax, and it gives it a nice stained look. The best part of the antique wax is the fact that there is no odor that you get with your regular stains. And then you're just going to do that to both squares. Now the rougher side will stain darker, but that's okay because I just put the rougher side that stained darker down when I put this craft together or assemble it. So we're just going to let those sit there and continue to dry, because if they are even damp in the slightest, the wood glue, I mean, eventually would probably work, but it takes a little bit longer for it to set up. And I don't want to take that long on having the glue set up. So when you're done doing that, you are going to take the bamboo rings, and I just fold this sandpaper over it and run it around like this. I go one way a couple of turns, and then I will flip it, run it the other way a couple of turns, and then I hit it with the bamboo, or I'm sorry, I hit the bamboo rings with the antique Waverly wax, or Waverly antique wax. Oh my gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Then I set those aside to thoroughly dry as well. When they're all completely dry, I'm just going to start out by putting a little bit of glue on the top of the smaller ring and the bottom of the smaller ring. And now this is Type-On. It does set up pretty good for holding, but then you have to let it completely dry so you have a good strong hold with the glue. Once I have it glued, I set the square block on the inside of the larger ring, and then as you can see, I place the smaller ring where the wood glue is touching the larger ring at the top and the top of the square piece of board. And then I use my Crayola chalk box to kind of set that up. And then I take the other ones and I do the same. Now, just for a little extra stability, I use my Surebonder mini glue gun because it has a fine tip point and I can get into those tight little spots there. And I just put a tiny bit of hot glue just for extra support. These are not going to hold a lot of weight. If you would want them to hold a lot of weight, I would suggest using small nails, or maybe notching out the wood piece so it sets there. But the wood piece is heavier, excuse me, The wood piece is heavier than both pieces of the bamboo rings, so it's a little front heavy. So once I get the glue gun on the tighter spots on both of them and I pull off all my glue strings, I'll show you how this will set. Just a general idea. These candles I got from the Dollar Tree also, and they are really nice. They look and feel like wax. And here they are hung on the wall next to my favorite photo. All right, let me know what you guys think. And don't forget, like and subscribe.